Hello everyone and welcome to Zeepkist Cup of the Day. For those of you who don't know how this works, we get 10 minutes to practice a map we have never seen before, after which there will be 2-minute elimination rounds where the slowest players get eliminated. This week we've got a map by Mokster. It is looking very hot. Okay, some tough walls at the beginning. Very tough turn, nobody made it around that turn first try. This is going to be a very tight map. We're supposed to have more speed at this point, because everybody has crashed into the wall. Zoman continues to prove that he's one of the best sight readers in Zeepkist, as he seemingly is doing fine on his first run. Oh, just kidding. I've jinxed it. I'm gonna be the first finisher. Yippee! Only person to finish their sight run, even though it was a really bad run. Oh, Aceboon also finished. And Mad Scotsman. So what are we supposed to do about this corner? Oh yeah, just wide setup. YOLO saying there's no risky is like the most sus message that there could be. Like, it actually concerns me. I keep moving too far to the right because I want to turn that into like a smooth rollover. And then the most important thing is just having a wide setup there, which is still makes it really tough to make that corner. Ultra wide. I don't know if I needed it to be that wide, but I did make it around the corner. Oh, and then I hit a different wall. Still up 20 speed at this point. Oh, and that makes that turn very dangerous also. This is gonna be like, what's the Mokster map that's like the island castle? Where every single road border is in the way. And you're just like a tiny bit too fast to take anything comfortably. This is one of those Mokster maps. Now, as some of you know, I have a habit of running into walls, but I don't think that's entirely on me. I think a lot of people have a habit of running into walls. Oh, well, I'm proving the point though. I also, you know, some people know I'm kind of a fan of the road borders, so maybe that means this is a good map for me. I think the challenge is just going to be doing everything with speed, because you do want to get as close to many of these walls as possible, and there are a few of these turns where having high speed makes it really hard to make the turn. Regardless of what your line is. Oh, little drop down there is probably not ideal. Ugh. 49.6, so it puts me top 5 with a very strong top 4 in front of me. This is kind of the style of map I think I'd be good at. Road borders aside, it's also just, it's slow to mid speed. There's pretty much no jumping at all. I think the only airtime is potentially this first rollover, and it's so tiny. Ah, that turn is tough though. Oh my goodness, there's going to be so much resetting at that first big turnaround. I guess technically not the first turn on the track, but it's kind of the first major one. Okay, nice. Good turnaround. Maybe I could try steering limits. I know some people are going to be doing that, and other people are steering purists and will never touch a steering limit in their life. I'm not one of those people. I'm more than happy to use the easy method. Yeah, this track is mostly just lines though, which I like. I like it when tracks are all about lines. Okay, people are starting to get 48s now. That's pretty fast. Look out for Sterbin though, because he's joined in a couple minutes late and is already in the top 3. This could be a good map for him. Okay, very clean start. Wow. Ah, yeah, that turn is going to be so tough. I had a feeling that was going to happen. So, do I need more setup for that turn? Because the problem, like, there's 2 turns really. It's this turn right here, the first major turn to the left, and then it's that turn that I crashed at earlier. Those are the 2 that are very, very difficult to make. But you don't want to steer the opposite direction too much, because the more you turn away from the corner, the more speed you're gonna lose. But if you don't set up properly, you might just not make the corner. I was trying to watch my inputs in the bottom right there, and I did not see a comfortable steering limit. I just keep hitting the post though. '80's comfortable. I like 80. And what about this turn up here? 80 was comfortable again, although if I have more speed, I don't know if that would be the case. 80 is such a solid steering limit. I always like that one. Fairly simple ending, but, you know, there's still time to be gained with just clean lines. That's pretty much the whole track, is how clean can your lines be without hitting any walls. Maki did get a new controller, so he's already getting his excuses out of the way early. Nice round. I want to maybe look at current cop, because I know current cop as a keyboard player is going to have to use steering limits, so that's 90 to 80 in the first turn. I'm just going to keep calling it the first turn, even though it's the second or third. That's 80, which is what I did up there. Just very tight turns. Don't even know how many steering limits he's hitting through here, but I don't think this part really matters. I think the rest of this track I just kind of do it full 100%. But he does do 90 at the start. I don't know if there's much use for that compared to the 80. Mostly about the end of that turn anyway, not the beginning of it. I feel like that's really on edge too, 80% up there. I think if I had more speed, that could be a slide out. And then again, it is about how much do you want to set up for the corner, because more setup is going to be more speed loss. Some very tough corners on this track. We will see who can be consistent in rounds. Only 2 minutes, and this first turn is taking a lot of resets, and then if we do get good runs, I don't know if there's going to be skidding out further down the track, having higher speeds. At least the 80 steering limit is really nice. So that should make things a little bit easier. Zoman, Mackie, Kerncobb, top 3. Who else would you expect? Sturbin right in there as well. But the big 3, always very difficult to beat. Or a bit wide. Maybe that's why Kern likes the 90. '80 is so nice there. It makes it so much less likely to skid out. Almost forgot to turn off the 80 steering limit. That was close. Actually don't want to go too tight around that big banked turn to the right, because you do have to roll back over the track to the left at the end of that. This is apparently very similar to the last run I put in the warm-up round. 0.6, I mean, that'll be plenty safe for now, but obviously we want to be improving. Use some Kerncobb secrets here with the 90 to 80. It wasn't the cleanest still, but that wasn't really the steering limit's fault. That's just me not having good runs. 48 seconds also is very long in Cup of the Day, which really sucks on this map specifically because of how important this turnaround is right here. Oops. And how often people are going to hit that post. Because you pretty much don't get more runs after that. Yeah, actually 80 is not really enough for the first part of that turn, is it? So record in the warm-ups was a 0.0 by Zoman, and the top 4 all had 0.1s or better. Oh, Zoman comes in with the 47.8 at the end, though. Nobody else getting particularly close to their warm-up times. Actually, we're seeing the other members, Sterbin, Kerncobb, the other kind of early favorites, a bit further down the leaderboard. Only 3 DNFs, I think, a couple times over a minute. I kind of expected, honestly, with how this track is, I think. So if you mess up a little bit, you might just have to take your run to the finish, and you'll be down so much speed if you hit a wall. Can't seem to match my PB speed at checkpoint 2. Which I'm not too bothered by, because it means there's less a risk of hitting the wall at the next 80% turn. But I obviously don't want to be down speed on every single run. Up at the end, though. What is this? 5-0. Nice. New personal best. Oh, I was just a touch too late on the transition from 90 to 80. That was almost a perfect turn 1. I do have enough time to reset at that point, which is very important because that's going to be the #1 reset spot on this map. Nice. Up a lot of speed at this point. I mean, these are splits to a new PB, so, and I was down in speed on that PB. But still, good to have more speed there. Pants is driving without a car. Nice, my favorite bug in this game. Okay, a little bit down in speed at the end. Weird, the speed splits were like opposite on those 2 runs, where the first run I was down in speed, but then got a lot of speed at the end, and then that run I had really good speed at the beginning and then lost it all towards the end. Maybe it's just the nature of this track with how tight the turns are. The speed kind of evens itself out a little bit, something like that. Still very happy with the 48.1. I don't usually top the leaderboard this early in Cup, so it's nice to be up there. Bit of a jump is probably not ideal. Oof, that was close. I don't know how close that front right tire got to the wall, but it seemed very close. I feel like that has to be bad for speed too, because that turn is so harsh when you just go 0 to full steering. Full steering being 80 with the steering limit. But still, that's like a very harsh turn. Not sure if that matters for speed, but it doesn't feel great. So I don't know if that means I want to do more setup then. That was too wide. If you're wide coming out of the first turn, then you just can't make the second turn. If you're really tight to the apex at the end of that turn, then you get a really nice setup for the second turn. This one, just like, how much do you want to set up? Oh, Mackie hits the inside wall. A little bit more setup to the right makes that turn a lot smoother, but obviously more steering generally considered bad. Nowacki gets the 48.0, going to win this round, and also leak that he might have a different line than everybody else, so I guess everyone will be watching him now. So, about 3 DNFs per round fairly consistently. Actually, 4 DNFs in that round. That was the highest number of DNFs we've had in round 3. I wonder if different line might be like an outer wall raid around the first turn. That kinda, I don't really think you could get out of that, though. Ah! Okay, and I don't have time for 2 runs now if I reset at that point. There's a ton of people resetting all the time, though, it seems like, on this map. Ah, man, yeah, if you're too late moving to the 80... Well, really, I was just too late turning to begin with there, because I was not going to hit the apex, so I kept the 90 on for longer. And then I hit the post. This is why we're consistently seeing the same number of DNFs. It's not a hard map to finish, but it's an easy map to crash 5 times in a row. I'm surprised that speed split's as good as it is. Very safe with that turn, because I don't have more time. Somehow this is almost PB pace. Nice tight turnaround there. Bit wider, I think, is good for speed conservation, but I don't know how much speed you need at this stage of the track. Or how much speed you want, because like this final corner, I think you just want to take it as tight as possible. And more speed, I tend to be drifting to the right side of the track. Very solid time from Sterben with the 47.8. A bunch of people without a time, including Zoman, but he's not going to get the DNF this time. Your more last-second finishers down to just 1 DNF that time. So most people getting runs. Kerncobb and Mackie tied. Mackie naturally losing the tie. Big 3 continuing to be the top 3. Fair amount of time variation, which doesn't surprise me, for a number of reasons. The walls, obviously, if you hit a wall, you're going to lose time. The length of the track, it's such a long track, I think the times are going to be more spread out. Except for Kern and Mackie, who could not get closer together. It's also kind of on the slower end of tracks. I don't want to call it a slow speed track. It's a slow to mid-speed track. But slower tracks generally have bigger time variation also because the speed conservation matters so much more. Yeah, it's mid-speed actually. This is sitting right around 100 the entire time. Sterben with the world record 47.7. Let's see what he's doing. Hold on, let me... Oh, I do have the eyes on him. Okay, starting a new run. 48.1 is a solid time from me. Seems to be a lot of .1s now. Sturbin having such a fast time 2 rounds in a row. I think Warren's watching. Sturbin is a steering limit purist, so he's not using any limiters. He's probably not going to show me anything either. A bit of a tighter turn 1. Oh, I guess that's fine though. He makes it around turn 2 just fine. Yeah, that is probably one spot where I'm losing a little bit because I wait very long to make that turn in. Oh, that's... No, wait. Yeah, it depends what the CP2 speed is. I did tap the wall that time, but... Yeah, I'm concerned about the ability to make it around turn 2, but, or I should say the right-hand turn down there. Oh, again with 3 DNFs now. In the round of 4 eliminations, we bump back up to 3 DNFs. Oh, tapped the wall. I think I made the switch to 80% just in time. Wait, I still need 80 for this turn. Oh, yeah, okay. That was too close. Watch your head on that turnaround. Track length really makes this track so scary because, you know, a mistake like that, I already don't have time for 2 runs. I'm long past the time I would need to get 2 completed runs. This turn might be one place where I do have time to gain though, because I could take it more to the inside, but obviously not as inside as I took it last time. We'll just play it safe on this run. This will still be a 0.6, maybe 0.7. Oh, maybe better actually. The ending is quite good. 0.5. My times are pretty solid. I'm not concerned about getting eliminated this early. But I do want to be getting faster at the track, which is why I'm trying more aggressive lines until I crash early. And then I want to stop trying those lines. Very tight second turn. Nah, okay, that lost me a lot of speed. I think there are a lot of these turns I could take a bit tighter though. I kind of like keeping the 80% on until the next section also. Maki with the 0.7 that time, head of current Cobb Zoman. Again, 3 DNFs. Man, so many DNFs on this track. I mean, I guess we're seeing some of the problems in my runs too, where you hit a wall, suddenly your time is very low. Hit a wall again, you might be out. Okay, yeah, okay, quite late. That is the spot where I have time for 2 runs still. Oh, little slide, but I saved it. Down a little bit of speed. Monaco or something? YOLO. Does kind of feel like that with all the road borders around. And this cup is happening 3 hours after Monaco qualifying earlier today. I could see it. Except it's lava instead of water around the edges of the track. So like I said, just enough time for 2 runs with the reset at the tail end of this first big turn. What does that line go? Is that more speed? No, it's also down speed. Why am I just always down speed? That felt nice. Yeah, I'm up speed. It was pretty close also with the spot I hit my head on that one run. Oh, that was a very tight turnaround. I don't know if that's good for speed or not, but that's probably good for time. It really bounces around, the time and the speed splits, depending on how you take these corners. I think some of it is just if you have more speed, it's harder to take the next corner. So then you lose speed for the next section, and it yo-yos a bit. Current Cobb in the lead, ahead of Sturbin this time. Oh, that's Sandals getting knocked out early with a 52 second, I think. So Sandals must have hit a wall when it was too late to reset. I'm actually going to reset with that wall tap at the beginning. That might be risky. It was 2 DNFs again in the last round as well, so still not people finishing the track. That's why the immediate reset was risky, because now I don't have time for 2 runs. Oh, I hit the wall again anyway. I'll just reset the slide out. Doesn't matter, I only get 1 run. Bit wide, but I save it. Honestly, a bit risky with the line I took there, but it's fine. Quite close to these walls, but I'm getting more confident about these parts of the track. Wide is not too bad at the exit of the right-hand turn, because like I said, you want to roll over to the left side at that point. Maki's a little bit more to the inside there, that makes sense. That's a very tiny difference though. Pretty clean ending. So remember the run where I got my PB and I had that one run that was strong at the start and then the run that was strong at the end of the round, at the end of the track? It's definitely, so my PB had the strong start and the slower end, and that is still seen with, like, I'm always down speed at checkpoint 2, but I'm fairly consistently up speed at checkpoint 6 and 7. So that's still kind of the case, where it's like if I'm down speed at the beginning of the track, I tend to have more speed at the end. Is that record from Kern Cobb? It is by 1,000th over Mackey's time. We finally have a round where everybody finished in the 8th round of this cup. And the final round of 4 eliminations, so it will now be 2 eliminated in the next rounds. Okay, that's, yeah, that can't be good. That also can't be good. Again, it's only time for 1 run now, but there's so many people resetting with me. Man, I think I tapped the inside wall. I don't know if that was what messed up my line, but it didn't help it for sure. Keep getting air now. Okay, I'm unsurprisingly down speed, but I kind of like everything else, and that's about where I normally would be at that checkpoint. Ooh, that was close. Not my cleanest run. Nothing about this run has felt good. Man, why aren't I just keeping 80% for the whole track? This is fine, actually. This feels good. Maybe the end is a bit tight, though. See, I'm still up speed at the final checkpoint. Not a super strong time, but there are still 3 people without a time at all, and there should only be 2 getting knocked out now. Here comes Round towards the finish. Another keyboard player that's going to be using a lot of steering limits. Here comes MacCheesy. Not enough for MacCheesy, 0.27. Gimple having a great time, apparently. Makes it through another round, so it's MacCheesy and Shady Nook getting eliminated. Zoman with a 0.6, though. Wow. fast players still getting faster. This kind of top four of Zoman, Kernkop, Stobin, and Mackie. They just keep putting down very fast times. I'm just struggling to be clean on this map. And I'm struggling to match the start that I had. Obviously, because I'm once again down speed. Or, yeah, okay. Tapped a lot of walls before the one that finally ended it. Kinda can't believe I set that .1 now. Okay, that felt good though. Is this still good speed? Okay, I was like at the crest of the hill though. I don't know. Okay, well. I wonder how much that's mattering too, because I had a weird spot of the hill on my PB, and that's why my speed is always so weird at CP2. Quite a late apex, but that might work out. Okay, I didn't crash into the wall at least. Okay. A little unwilling to turn for some reason. Wow, I see I've make up so much time at the end. I have like a little bit more speed at the end, and suddenly that's a .2. Not sure like where this speed comes from at the end. Zoman and Mew coming into the finish. Stobin with the .49. Wow. Here comes Bees, or Bess, Bees. I've heard it both ways. I don't see Round or Alex. I know Alex is in photo mode already, so Gimple sneaks through another round. And that is Round and Drew Alexitar with DNFs eliminated 10th and 11th. Or joint 10th, I guess. Nice, that was a solid angle. Still minus 1.5. Okay, this is a good run though. Despite the rogue speed split. Okay, this is less good of a run. Had to correct a lot because of the unnecessary two-wheeling. It was such a good start though, I'm kind of just taking it to the end. Because like the time split is still there. You know, that's another thing with this map actually, is like, when you have more speed, because it forces you to take the turns wider, it actually... it's not necessarily great for your times. It's like what I was doing on that run, even though I didn't have as much speed, all of my turns were super tight to the inside, and I was still keeping up in time just because I was taking a shorter line. So maybe speed is not everything on this map. Hope so if this run is going to make an improvement, because I'm way down. And I hit that wall for more fun. Let's see where Kernkop is, because Kernkop needs a time. A lot of people need a time. In fact, Gimple has final... well, Gimple says that's it, but there's so many people without a time. Let's see if it really is it. Kernkop, not the strongest time, but it is a time. It will be safe. Here comes Bri, here comes Beast. Both of them are close. Bri does make it through, and Beast will knock out Gimple. Mew eliminated with the DNF. Tends to be the way she likes to go out. And Gimple probably a PB then, I'm guessing, in Cup of the Day to get top 8. Of the top 7, we have 5 former Cup of the Day winners. 2 without the Cup of the Day win. That was... okay. I hit camera instead of steering limit. did the 80 for some reason. I've completely forgotten what's happening. Okay, but I have good speed now for some reason. What? This makes no sense. What did I do differently that time? Besides the steering limit, which is not... Like, I used the 90 on my PB. Nice inside line. Switch back to 100. Magically up speed at the end, as I am on every run, and that's PB, I guess. And a palindrome. So I don't know why I had more speed that time. And I'm gonna have different splits now, but it is still fast speed at this checkpoint. Okay. Okay, what? Is it just angle? Because I had a lot later apex on both of these runs. Is it just the angle that I'm coming out of that big left-hand turn? So then it's making it a better setup for the right-hand turn, even though I thought that was bad because Sturban was taking a tighter angle at turn 1. Yeah, and I'm just up on this run. Greener rollover, I think. Should be sub 48. 47.9. And Mackie... Oh, Mackie does snipe. Barely. 47.9 was actually... That is what's safe. As the non-cup winners, Beast and Bry eliminated. Or Bess and Bury, or however combination of pronunciations you want to use for them. So is this just a late apex thing? Yeah, okay, the jump was not necessary. The other 4 remaining have been clearly the 4 best players on this map, so my hopes are not high about making it any further. Oh, my speed's good again. Maybe it is just later apex at that turn. Uh-oh. Only 1 run. Or this is kind of a strange angle. Might be fine. Ah, too late with the switch to 80. Pretty much everybody only goes for 1 run on this track. No! Oh, okay. I still have time, but that was almost perfect, and it was very much not. A little conservative when I switch to 80 there. It's not ideal. Yeah, I'm down speed. Nice inside line though. Didn't do the 2-wheel. I'm gonna be up speed now because I 2-wheeled a little bit on my PB. Nice inside line again. Ran out a little bit wide, but that's probably good for speed and it's a fine setup. This is still a good run. Zoman only has a 0.1. Yeah, I mean, this beats Zoman. And I see a lot of people in photo mode, so I don't think there's anybody else on the track. Alright, Zoman knocked out. One of the favorites, for sure. What does the GTR look like? It's Sturban with that crazy run. Zoman with the 0.6. Maki also has a 0.6. I mean, they're all right next to each other. It's just Sturban a little bit out ahead, but hasn't put that 0.4 down again. Nice to knock out one of these top 4 in this cup. I guess if you can put together a good run, since pretty much everybody's only taking 1 run, then you have a good chance of knocking someone out. It's hard to be consistent when you don't have multiple chances at setting down a time. Oh, okay. Still good. It could have been better, but it is still good. A little bit more of an inside line that time. I don't know if that's going to come out of my speed. It doesn't really. This is just PB pace again. I guess I understand the track now. I seem to be the only person on track, and that's a 0.7. 2 people pretty close to the beginning here. This is where most of the resets happen. Ah, the skid out. Unfortunate. I wouldn't mind if everybody else DNF'd right now. I mean, that would be okay by me. Oh, super late Apex. Okay, well, I'm not going to improve. Maki, Kern Cobb, Sturbin all on runs. Sturbin gets a 0.6. Maki and Kern both coming to the end. I mean, I could just be out here. Kern Cobb 0.7. Yeah, I think I'm eliminated. 0.79 personal best is not enough. The 4th place curse still goes on, even with that. And such close times, 1/10 basically, separating the 4 of us. 100th separating 3 of us. You knocked me out. Can't believe this. I mean, honestly, can't be upset with that. That's a PB. I am 1 position higher than I thought I ever could be in this cup. I'm okay with that. So now, into the top 3, Kern Cobb with 38 cup wins, Maki with 35, Sturbin with 2. Sturbin is very fast, though. Don't let that low number of Cup of the Day wins fool you. Maki with, it seems like, the most inside line. But he does come out of that turn still with the same amount of speed. Sturbin might be a tiny bit faster. Clips a wheel. It did look like he lost a little bit from that, but not too much, I guess. And then Maki might have hit a wall there as well. Okay, Sturbin does finally reset, so I think Kern might have a chance for 2 completed runs here, but the other 2 definitely committed to only 1 run. Nice, clean line from Kern Cobb. Oh, runs pretty high there. Like I keep saying, that rollover doesn't really matter how tight to the inside you are, but Kern a bit extreme. Kern will have time for 2 runs here, assuming he doesn't crash on his 2nd run. 0.6, that is pretty fast. That might be safe. Of course, with the players left, you can't trust that anything will be safe. So he'll be looking for an improvement. Sturbin looks like he's on a clean run here. He is going to take it to the finish. It is his only run. 6-0 from Sturbin. That also might be safe, also might not. I don't think we've seen Maki do a time that fast, though. Ooh, kind of a rough final corner. 6-1 from Maki. Kern Cobb eliminated because he's not on a run. Wow. Hold on. What is GTR? Personal best from Kern Cobb. Personal best from Maki. Sturbin, not a personal best, but does beat both of them. Crazy, crazy round. Yeah, I mean, if I got knocked out last time, I wasn't making it through this one, that's for sure. Crazy run from the top 3. And Sturbin, he tends to get wins only in the most stacked lobbies, and this definitely was a very stacked lobby. We'll see if he can do it yet again. Probably is the favorite, because he's been doing the 0.6s consistently, and he has that 1 world record that is just a little bit faster. His opponent in the finals, just Maki with 35 Cup of the Day wins and a brand new controller. It's his excuse for not doing as well today, but it doesn't seem to be hindering him at this point. Now that he's made it to the finals, we'll see who wins out, though. We'll watch Sturbin because he's behind. I am curious about Maki's steering limits, though, because he may or may not. He's not a purist like Sturbin is. Both of them on their first runs, a little bit wide up that hill from Sturbin, but it's still fine. He's in good position to make that rollover. Solid lines. He's so far to the left around that turn. Very inside setup, which is fine as long as you make the rollover to the right. He did have a little bit of a wall tap with 3 corners to go. Maki not the strongest run though, 0.87. Sturbin with a 0.65. Might be enough for the win, might not. We'll see what Maki can do on his 2nd attempt. I'm just going to ride along with him to see steering limits in the first turn. No steering limits, so he's being a purist as well. Sturbin with 1 more reset at that critical reset point. But it's really all about Maki here to see if he can make an improvement. No steering limits at that corner either. Oh, and Maki's not going to make an improvement. Too tight to the inside. So Sturbin will pick up his 3rd Cup of the Day win. Another stacked lobby is another win for Sturbin. no steering limits gets the win, I guess. Congratulations, Sterbin. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see all these stats and results, I always post the link to my spreadsheet in the description below. And there's no point waiting out the final 20 seconds because we already know what's happening. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Shut up, Mackie. Don't talk about my road borders on all of my maps. Bye-bye!